Hey, what's up? I'm Payne the Fiddler, and I'm back with another time lapse. This time we're building out the plaza that connects to the cave section that I built in the last video. Specifically, we're going to be working on this right entrance here. As you can see, I already have the sign built, and then I stole this little ruined tower from another section of the park, and I think that's going to work really well as a ride entrance. So the ride is called Into the Deep. I'm not completely in love with that name. I think it's all right though. Mostly it's just that this sign is way too good to not use. I built it for a different ride, but it turned out just way too extravagant and also not scalable enough. It's a little too big to use on anything other than like a mainline attraction. So I just retooled a bit and decided that the sort of large-scale dark ride exploration water cascade that I wanted to build anyway was now going to be called Into the Deep. And as part of that, I decided to move it into the subterranean area. Originally, it was going to be located in the next area, which is kind of in this canyon. And this is going to be the anchor attraction for this plaza, so I thought it made sense to start here. I mentioned that we're starting here, but that's not like completely true. What's actually happening is that this and then the next two videos, I built them all concurrently. I've part of the process of kind of making videos, I've started to become a bit more introspective on my building style. You know, in the past, I was just building, I just went. I wasn't really thinking about how I was doing it. I just wanted to do it and was enjoying it. But now I've kind of realized that I tend to kind of find anchor points to start a build, and that can be really anything, just a little bit of detail, sort of a column, maybe the way I want a dome to look, the way I want to build out the roof. Sometimes it's the outline of a building, so starting with the walls. In this instance, obviously the two anchor points are this little ruin structure and the ride sign, which were already built before, but that same kind of process sort of cascades down and it repeats over and over again at large scale and then smaller scale. And I kind of build out things element by element where I make something and then I kind of take a step back, look at it, and decide what's the next element that it needs. And part of that process is that I tend to jump around a little bit. So in this time lapse, we're only looking at this like entrance area build for the ride, but at the same time, I was building a sort of the central walkway for this plaza, and then like a shopping slash dining structure on the other side of the plaza, and I would kind of jump back and forth between them and let progress on one inform the next step on to the other. So if you're eagle-eyed, you might notice that the progress on the others kind of occurring surreptitiously in the background, and each of those will get their own video. It took me a while to decide how I wanted to integrate this ride sign into the scene that was around it. I knew I wanted it to be like a really contemplative sort of scene, something that felt very peaceful, almost like sacred. So I wanted like the pool of water in front of it, and then like the little temple to the side. Initially, I tried maybe extending the crystals into like a big geode that was sort of enveloping the whole space, but I ultimately decided to scrap that. You can see I spent a long time just iterating on the colors, trying to find something that would work. And ultimately, the reason I scrapped that is that I didn't want to interrupt the silhouette of the sign, which I felt was didn't really need to be tweaked at all. So I ultimately decided to go with a setting that didn't involve any crystals, so that way the silhouette that it has right now would be preserved within that scene. And once I made that decision, it was kind of interesting how quickly it felt like the rest of it came together. It's funny how that happens. You'll kind of go down an alleyway on an idea and run into a dead end, and then as soon as you finally abandon that path, you find something else that works a lot better. And I really ended up just kind of like freestyling this part here. Usually I'm a bit more intentional about like the pieces that I use, but I was kind of like pulling in a lot of different pieces that I haven't actually used much before in this park. So it was cool to see. and that'll do it for today. Still a little bit of work to do, especially in just the transition between the scene around the sign and then what's going to be around the tower, and working out that transition. But I felt this was a good spot to cut it. I also thought that this kind of made sense as a transition into the next couple of videos, which are going to be building buildings, less of this kind of this like nature work, which is, I think, a bit more fun or a bit more free to do. I think it also goes a little bit quicker because I don't have to line things up quite as much. It's much more of a feel sort of thing. So expect some slightly longer time lapses for those. And yeah, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.